Salaam. And greetings, humans. I'm just going to get the mail, so I'm not going to put on my coat. It's actually not very cold out today either. But... okay, sorry, that was really awful. You may or may not know that my grandmother passed away last month, December. Haven't really told a whole bunch of people on purpose. Ooh, back inside. Because I just wanted to feel it and deal with it on my own, like sans audience. Okay? Hold on a second. Got all this mail. Gotta close the door. Holding the camera all cattywampus. But to deal with it, I have been creative. Oops. To deal with it, I have been creative. I have made everything that I could think to make. Whoa. Sheesh. Talk about a brochure, eh? It's like a whole giant magazine. Okay, that's not for me though. But I've been making stuff. Loved it. Loved it. I've been completing things. I've been starting smaller projects and completing them. But I just wanted to share with you some of the, what I think, mashallah, beautiful things that I've made to deal with my grief. So, just a moment, please, and I'll show you. Okay, so the first one isn't, whoop, good job, Phil. So the first one isn't done, but the only thing that's left to do on it is to add an edge to it, but it's a prayer rug that I made. It's quilted, but, and this little star is appliqued on the center. I had 6 points on it originally, but it ended up looking a lot like, oh, there's a needle, like the Star of David, and that wasn't really my intention. I was going more for flower, star in the sky, or sun. So this is what I came up with. That center is just a little 16 patch that I cut using the outline of a big cup. The front is material from a quilt that I made from my uncle. All of these little squares are material from my mom's quilt. These points are materials from my nephew's quilt. And this gray backing, it's just cotton. So I don't know if this would be good for outside. I mean, it's washable, which is nice. So it probably isn't bad for outside. But yeah, so it's just gray. And I just purchased that to make something for my mom, but I'm making her something different. The other thing that I started and completed while she was ill, am I even in frame? Is this quilt for my uncle. My dad's older brother and only brother. And it's backed in this really cool fabric, and I still actually have a lot of it left. Because it just wasn't as big as I thought it would be. But it used all of these. You remember all the yellows that I bought? Again, somewhere in one of these corners will be, or realistically in the description below, because I don't know how that works, will be the video for my Joy and Fabrics haul. And the like warmer color set that I said was for a quilt for me, I actually ended up making a quilt for him. And it's really just kind of a nice a nice throw. Are we still recording? Okay, so I'll show you that. I don't know how well you can see the whole quilt, but let's kind of do a roll up. Boop, 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 boop. So that's this quilt, and then it's backed in all of that goodness. And I really like the kind of goldenrod yellow edges that I used. I had a lighter yellow that just wasn't everything that I wanted it to be. What I think about when I made this was kind of like, I picked the colors out well before, but it makes me think of dark times and light times. So kind of like, verily with hardship comes ease. It doesn't mean that they come, you know, in a complete band of all hard stuff and then all easy stuff. It doesn't mean that, you know, it's always going to be easy or always going to be hard, but it's going to be kind of a nice mix of both. And that's kind of why I really love this quilt. Who was calling this house? It's probably a telemarketer. Or the Red Cross asking for my blood. I would give it to them. They could have it. But, yeah. Neither here nor there. Oh, that's it. Huh. Wrong number then, I guess. But yeah, these are the two things that I've completed, or mostly completed, out of kind of grief and sadness. And then I made a lot more of these, but these little fabric washcloths, I've made, who is it? I've made at least 25 of them, but I'm sewing them together slowly and making a larger blanket. And I make one of these every time I think about my grandma, because they don't take very long. You start with 4, and for this size I go out to 25 across the corners, and then go back down to 4 and then tie it off. So I'll actually leave the link for the video from Mrs. Wolfie at our Half Acre Homestead. Thanks so much for teaching me how to make these. They've been a great tool for me. And even though I don't use them as washcloths and I kind of sew them together on this edge right there, I really love them, and they're quick and simple, and it doesn't even take very long. So thanks, Mrs. Wolfie. And yeah, so that's how I've been kind of handling my grief and sadness. But I think it's pretty cool. Alright, that's all I got for now. Bye. Also, for those of you that don't know, I have been super addicted to dehydrating recently. Like, there's almost not a night that something isn't in my dehydrator. So I'm actually going to give frozen vegetables a try. So, so close. The first step is actually to put the frozen vegetables to like defrost them. So I'm going to defrost them by running water over them. And then they can just go straight onto your dehydrator. They don't have to be blanched. None of that good stuff. So today I've got crinkle cut carrots. I've got sweet corn. And I've got dark cherries. Really for my mother. So I'm gonna, those are defrosted. They defrosted overnight. So let's put some stuff in the dehydrator.